Imagine a man standing in a rainstorm, holding a massive steel bucket. The rain pours in, representing a high income, but the bottom is riddled with holes. The water rushes out almost exactly as fast as it enters. Many of us view financial stress through a single lens. We assume the only way to fill the bucket is to find a heavier storm, to earn a higher salary. But if the vessel is broken, increasing the flow only speeds up the waste. You aren't getting richer, you are just moving more volume through a failing container. These leaks are often difficult to spot because money has shifted away from a physical reality. It has dissolved into a digital abstraction. When we lose the ability to see our resources clearly, our perception of loss changes. If we don't patch the structural leaks in our habits, no amount of income will keep the bucket full. Psychologists describe a specific response known as the pain of paying. When you physically hand over cash, your brain registers the transaction as a tangible loss. It creates a natural biological resistance to spending. Modern commerce routes around that pain. Digital wallets remove physical resistance, moving transactions directly to our reward centers. This creates a dopamine shopping loop. Without the biological signal of loss, we use quick purchases to mask stress or boredom. Because the physical act of parting with our resources has been smoothed out, we rarely stop to evaluate the purchase. We tap our phones and make financial decisions in a mindless trance. Our biology is outmatched by an environment engineered to numb us. To regain control, we need a mechanism that manually reintroduces friction into our daily lives. In 1904, Japan's first female journalist, Hani Motoko, introduced a system to address this lack of awareness. She called it Kakeibo. Translating to household financial ledger, it is not an app or an automated spreadsheet. It is a philosophy that requires a physical book and a pen. When you physically write down an expense by hand, your brain processes the action with a level of focus that a digital screen cannot replicate. That extra moment of manual labor forces you to consider if it was worth the ink. It effectively restores the pain of paying by making the transaction visible again. The pen acts as a psychological circuit breaker. It turns abstract numbers back into a clear expenditure of your actual life energy. Standard modern budgeting often fails because of its sequence. We spend first, pay our bills, and then try to save whatever happens to be left at the end of the month. Kakeibo flips the equation. You determine your savings goal at the start of the month and immediately lock it away. What remains is your only pool for spending. This inversion creates artificial scarcity. When you see the limit, you stop wasting money. For optional categories like dining out, practitioners often use the envelope method. They withdraw the month's fund budget in physical cash and place it in an envelope. This replaces the fallibility of willpower with the absolute limit of physics. When the envelope is empty, spending stops. There is no credit card to bridge the gap. When you feel the urge to buy something that isn't a survival necessity, the system requires a mandatory 30-day rule. You write the item down on a wish list in your ledger and walk away. You must wait a full month before you are allowed to revisit the purchase. Most of these urges lose their grip once the impulse passes. You look back at the list and realize the item was just a temporary distraction from a bad day or a moment of boredom. This delay systematically starves the dopamine loop. By the time the 30 days are up, the false urgency to consume has often vanished, leaving the money in your pocket. This practice is rooted in monozukuri, a concept implying a deep respect for materials and the craftsmanship found in everyday life. This stands in contrast to a consumer economy that treats objects as disposable and relies on our permanent dissatisfaction with what we already own. Repairing a shirt or maintaining an old gadget is a psychological rebellion. It shifts your focus from the act of acquiring to the act of caring, making you the master of your possessions. Every month concludes with a reflection called Hansei. You review your ledger to identify your emotional spending triggers, turning your past mistakes into objective data for the future. Look at this chart. Wealth is not defined by a high income, but by the mathematical gap between what you earn and what you spend. The man on the left earns more, but saves nothing. He is trapped on a treadmill. The man on the right owns his time. By mastering impulse control, he widens the gap. Every dollar he captures becomes a resource that works to buy back his future. Your mission is to start a 7-day challenge. For 1 week, do not check your banking app. Write down every single cent you spend by hand to find the leaks in your own bucket. True wealth is the ability to own your time rather than chasing a treadmill. By mastering your impulses, you ensure your money serves your life rather than your life serving your money.